Level 25 upgrade. So today I'm going to be installing orange anodized aluminum steering blocks. And honestly guys, I don't know which company makes these. I was just looking around on eBay and I found them for a really good price, so I decided to order them and check them out. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these installed and see how they look. First step is I need to go ahead and take off the wheel by undoing the wheel nut. Now I need to go ahead and get the wheel hex hub out of the way. I do have a converter on here, so what I'm going to have to do is take that off. But normally it would just be a plastic wheel hex hub that you just pop off with a flathead screwdriver. Once that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the axle pin as well as the Teflon washer. Next up, I need to go ahead and start taking the steering block off from the caster block. It's held on with 2 screws. We have one on top and of course one on bottom. Then finally I need to go ahead and disconnect the steering link, which is just held on with a single screw. Once all that is done, I can go ahead and pull off the steering link, push back the steering block, and slide it off from the drive shaft. Next up, I need to go ahead and pop off the bearings and put them into the new steering block. And that's usually not that hard. You just have to get some kind of tool that's small enough to fit through the hole on the opposing side to push out the bearing. And now I honestly wish I knew the brand of these parts, because guys, these bearings went into position without any problems. They're not so loose that the bearings fall out, and they're not so tight that I struggled getting them in. But yeah, now that that's all taken care of, I can go ahead and reinstall it. So the first thing I'm going to do is slide in the drive shaft, make sure everything is pushed all the way down. Then I'm going to slide it back into the caster block and then install the screw on top and in bottom. So now that I have this installed, you can see that there is a grind right here against the caster block and the steering block. I don't think these were meant for the RPM caster blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this out, sand this down just a little bit, that way I can turn this all the way. So after sanding down the caster block, you can see that it's still not turning all the way over. Everything else has clearance except for this small little corner right here on the bottom of the steering block. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to file down the steering block right here. That way I can go ahead and turn this all the way over. So using a permanent marker, I marked exactly what part I want to file off. Now I'm just going to get a file and just rub that off. So if you ever have to file down an anodized part yourself, be sure to put duct tape down where you might scratch it up, because honestly, it's better to be safe than sorry, and after all is said and done, you don't want scratches all over this beautiful finish. After reinstalling the steering block, after the filing, you can see I can turn it all the way forward and all the way back with no more issue. So with that being taken care of, I can finally go ahead and slide in the steering link and reattach it using the single screw. First up, the Teflon washer. Slide that all the way down. Then I'm going to get the axle pin, make sure that it's even on each side. Get the converter, put that into place. Then I'm going to get the converter nut, tighten that down all the way, and finally I can go ahead and reattach the tire. With that taken care of, I can go ahead and move on to the other side. It's going to be the same process, just reversed. One last thing I should go ahead and mention. I didn't say it last time, but when I did install the wheel hex hub converters, I did put some thread locker on it as well. Here's before. And here, of course, is after. And honestly, I have to say they look so good. So after having these installed, I have to say I'm really surprised that the toe-in was increased drastically. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go to the steering links and I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up a little bit. Alright, so I went ahead and fixed the toe-in and it's a lot better. But through these rims, these steering blocks look so good. Guys, I love these! So before I end this upgrade video, I just want to give a shout out to everyone who has helped me on Patreon. Because of you guys, these upgrades are possible. And that was a level 25 upgrade for Saber Wolf. It's gonna have to do for. Thing I did have to, because I'm putting in into an aluminum over time. Oh my god. To be a little longer. since I'm putting one thing I need to oh my god, but since I don't have any spare nuts lying around,